Hello everyone, this is Today in History. Today is Monday, January the 29th day of 2024. There are 337 days left in the year. On this day in 1819, Sir Stamford Raffles established the port of Singapore. On this day in 1845, American author Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven was first published, appearing in the New York Mirror, a melancholy evocation of lost love. It became one of the best-known poems in American literature. On this day in 1860, Russian author Anton Chekhov, who is known for his plays and short stories, which often lacked complex plots and neat solutions, was born. On this day in 1880, American actor and comedian W.C. Fields was born in Philadelphia. On this day in 1886, German mechanical engineer Karl Benz patented the first practical automobile powered by an internal combustion engine. On this day in 1900, the American League of Professional Baseball Clubs was organized in Philadelphia. On this day in 1919, the ratification of the 18th Amendment to the Constitution establishing the prohibition of alcohol was certified by Acting Secretary of State Frank L. Polk. On this day in 1924, the first machine for rolling ice cream cones was patented by Carl Rutherford Taylor of Cleveland. On this day in 1936, the first inductees of baseball's Hall of Fame included Ty Cobb and Babe Ruth, were named in Cooperstown, New York. On this day in 1963, poet Robert Frost died in Boston at age 88. On this day in 1964, Stanley Kubrick's nuclear war satire, Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, premiered in New York, Toronto, and London. On this day in 1966, Brazilian football player Romario, who was one of the most prolific goal scorers in sports history, was born in Rio de Janeiro. On this day in 1979, President Jimmy Carter formally welcomed Chinese Vice Premier Deng Xiaoping to the White House, following the establishment of diplomatic relations. On this day in 1984, President Ronald Reagan announced in a national broadcast message that he and Vice President George H.W. Bush would seek re-election in the fall. On this day in 1998, a bomb rocked an abortion clinic in Birmingham, Alabama, killing security guard Robert Sanderson and critically injuring nurse Emily Lyons. The bomber, Eric Rudolph, was captured in May of 2003 and is serving a life sentence. On this day in 2002, in his first State of the Union address, President George W. Bush said terrorists were still threatening America, and he warned of the axis of evil consisting of North Korea, Iran, and Iraq. On this day in 2004, author Janet Frank, who created a unique body of work that presents perhaps the most recognized voice of New Zealand to those outside of her native country, died at age 79. On this day in 2013, the Justice Department ended its criminal probe of the Deepwater Horizon disaster and the Gulf of Mexico oil spill, with a U.S. judge agreeing to let London-based oil giant BP plc plead guilty to manslaughter charges for the deaths of 11 rig workers and pay a record $4 billion in penalties. On this day in 2015, Australian novelist Colleen McCullough, best known for her sweeping romance The Thorn Birds, published in 1977, and for the Masters of Rome series from 1990 to 2007, died at age 77. On this day in 2018, the Cleveland Indians announced that they would remove the Chief Wahoo logo from their uniforms in the coming baseball season, after decades of protest and complaints that the grinning, red-faced caricature was racist. The Indians changed their names to the Guardians starting in the 2002 season and have since been forgotten. All right, everybody, that's it for today. Today is Monday, January the 29th day of 2024. There are 337 days left in the year.